morning. Hi. It's the last week of school. I thought I'd make a week in my life because it is the last week of school and I haven't made a video in like forever. So I gotta document this year somehow. I just got to school. It's like 6:50. I got here a little bit early because I want to make sure everything's ready. I am in a constant state of sadness. I have been for the last couple weeks. I was making my slides for the week this weekend and I just like kept crying every time I would write a new day. So I'm not doing well. If you are new here, I get extremely sad at the end of the year and I hate when it ends and I have to say goodbye to everybody. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I will talk to you about some other things later, but right now I'm just gonna make sure everything's ready for the day. Quick update before I do that, my desk is at the back of the room now and everyone else is in front of me. And there's a carpet area now where my desk used to be. How interesting. Hi, it's my lunch break now. It is hot out today. It is extremely hot and it's just gonna get hotter. And I made a terrible mistake. So you know how some teachers have like bought like a white dress or a t-shirt or whatever for their kids to color on and then they'll wear it on the last day of school? Well, I'm doing that, but I got like a hoodie because I was like, I would wear a hoodie a lot more than I would a dress or a t-shirt or something. And I would want to get something that I would actually wear. And it's so cool. I'm gonna show it to you. Like, look at this. It's so cool. I love it so much. But this is what I'm gonna have to wear on the last day of school. And it's gonna be like 87 degrees. So really looking forward to that. I have not talked on here for a really long time. So I have like no idea what has gone on since the last time I posted. I don't even know when I last posted. I do have a new addition to my classroom that I'm gonna show you. The one and only Taylor Swift is a part of our classroom now. And she has this little whiteboard that I can change out. And she gives us like little messages every day. Yes, it is the last week of school. Around this time of year, I just feel like I'm very strange as a teacher because every other teacher is like counting down the days until summer and they're wanting it to all be over or they're super stressed out. And like, I just don't feel that way. I mostly just feel panicked at the fact that I'm gonna have to say goodbye to my kids in like 3 days. And I literally just cry constantly. Like anytime they bring it up to me, I cry. I think about it like every hour and I start crying. It's too much for me. I don't like it. And I feel super relaxed and just like, I just want more time. I just want more time. And obviously like I'm excited for summer. I love more time to do other things. But I don't like the fact that I have to say goodbye and like never see these kids again. And all I want to do is just like hang out with them without things getting insane, which is kind of annoying because I do have some kids that will take advantage of like any kind of freedom and just like go off the handle. But I am very big on expectations continue to be expectations at the end of the year. And so if we can't handle something, like we're done. Like I have the same consequences as I would if it was January. So for example, we were just trying to do this activity in science where they had to go into the hallway and then jump up and stick these Post-its on the wall. And I told them, it's the hallway. So we need to be a level 0, we need to be quiet. And if we can't do that, we're coming back inside. So if I hear talking, we are done. And I was like, do we understand? And they're like, yes. And then we go out in the hallway and guess what happens? They're all talking. So then we go back inside and it's like, literally, you know that I'm gonna follow through on that. So we'll try again after lunch and see if they can do it. If they waste all of their science time not being able to do this, then that's on them. And they won't get to do the activity, which is a bummer. But yeah, I don't care if there's 3 days left of school. You know how to be in the hallway. But yeah, I'm gonna eat my sandwich and then later on I will tell you about some other things I've been doing in the classroom. Kind of similar to last year and then maybe a little bit different. All right, it's after school. It was a good day. They do not stop talking, which is annoying, but you know, it is the last week of school. A couple things we did today. We tried to do a science experiment. That did not work out because they could not be quiet in the hall. Every year around this time of year, we are in the middle of a writing project and then like we run out of time and then it's the last week of school. So we did that again this year and I just gave them this like little packet. I'll show you this little 5th grade writing packet thing. So there's some fun like coloring page things and stuff like that. And then there's some writing prompts in here. So I'm just giving them this for the rest of the year. Writing is at the very end of the day, which is already hard for them to stay focused and like not talk. So this is a good way for us to just like have time. They don't have to be super, super quiet during it and they can just have some fun with writing. Today, I'm gonna be completely honest, it turned into me arm wrestling, like every single one of my students and winning. One of them, the first one that I arm wrestled, right before I won, he like let up on his arm and stopped pushing. And so then I like slammed my finger down on the table and then it like broke my nail. So that was fun. I had my final evaluation meeting today and I got a really good review, so that's really nice. Here's a little tour of my back desk area right now because kids just keep giving me things. I got this like cute succulent from a kid on Teacher Appreciation Day, and we are trying to grow some avocado seeds. I have this cute little flower. Someone brought me this painting today. It has Diet Dr. Pepper on it, which is awesome, and Taylor Swift. A kid gave me this moldy orange and I told him I would keep it, so I have a moldy orange. He also made me that picture, which is pretty cool. It looks cool actually with the sun behind it. And then I just have like a bunch of little tiny things over here. Also during writing today, the kids that were at my desk kept telling me over and over that there was like a big spider on the wall and they were scared. And I was like, are you guys serious? Like, is there seriously a spider? Because if that's the truth, like, I am not going over there. I'm just gonna leave it where it is. They were saying that it was like behind this whiteboard, and I was like, no. But then I just went over here and it's literally just a Post-it note that says spider on it. So I am never trusting them again.
Someone open the side door.
You might be looking behind me and go, oh my gosh, yes day. And if you know me, you know I've done a yes day for like 2 years in a row. Let me tell you about that. First of all of my kids know about Yes Day because they watch all of my stuff. And so they were already asking about Yes Day like in like October or something. And I was like, first of all, that's an end of the year thing. And second of all, you have to earn it. So like, it's not just something that is gonna happen just because you're my kids. You have to earn it. But they would like constantly ask me questions about it and like constantly say when we get our Yes Day. And I was like, if you get your Yes Day. So how I did it this year is about 28 days ago. Oh my God, shut up. Sorry, they keep talking on the radio. I should just turn it off. School is done. So about 28 days ago, I made this little thing and there was 28 days left until the last week of school. And what they needed was 23 like good days out of the 28. So they had like a buffer of 5 days. And basically like throughout our schedule throughout the day, if they were following expectations and stuff during that subject, then they would get a check mark. And they just needed to get like more than half of the day having a check mark. There were some more stipulations with that. Like if the entire last half of the day was like horrible, even if they got like the beginning of the day with check marks, I was like, I don't want to reward that. So I told them like, you know, it has to be like a decent day. Like it can't just be horrible. So they were all on board and they understood and they were like excited about it. They're like, we can do this. We started and it was horrendous. Like it was like they were the worst they had ever been. And I was like, what is going on? And I would try to like hype them up every day. I tried a bunch of different strategies to get them like focused on it. And then I think having this, we used to have this at like the front of the room. I was like, I think that's like making them like nervous. I think it's making them worse because I think it's like in their head they're so like, oh my gosh, we have this big thing we're trying to work towards, and it's like a lot of tension. It's like a lot of like pressure. And so I think it just like kind of messed them up because one day I just like didn't talk about it in the morning and I didn't say anything about it and they were like really good. And so I was just kind of like moved it to the back of the room and didn't really talk about it, and I still tried to keep track on it. Like if they had a good day, I still like put a check mark. But yeah, it was weird. And it was really interesting. But it did get to the point where it was like they didn't earn the Yes Day. Like that wasn't a thing. They weren't good enough. They were fine. Like they were acting like 5th graders, but I'm like, I'm not gonna give you this amazing, super big reward if you don't earn it. But I was kind of feeling bad for all the kids who were doing what they were supposed to do. So I did something else. So I have all these like blue tickets from last year that I used to pay my kids for their class jobs, and I just like had them still. And so one day I just decided to start randomly handing them out. I didn't tell the kids what they were for. I just like started giving them out. In my head, it was for any kid that was like being resilient. So when everything else around them, like people around them weren't doing what they were supposed to do, or things were like hard around them, they were still following expectations. Or leadership, so like really helping other people and like going out of their way and doing things above and beyond for other people. I just started like giving them these tickets and saying like, thank you for doing this thing. I didn't tell them what the blue tickets were for. They kept asking, and it was kind of like a cool little secret thing. So they got like really started wanting to get the blue tickets. And then eventually I finally told them, and what I did was instead of a Yes Day, I made these little like yes coupons backwards. Maybe I could show you in a different angle. I made these little yes coupons, and I'm gonna cover the kid's name, and it says like, what do you want? They got to put their name on it, and then they got to pick something within reason and appropriate for school. And it was kind of like a yes day, like I would say yes to that. And so once they got 10 blue tickets, so I made it like a big thing, like you had to have enough, a lot, like you were really showing that you were resilient and that you were a leader. then you got one of these tickets. And so I think I got to the point where maybe I've had like 7 or 8 of these yes tickets, and I kind of had to like put stipulations on it because at first they were just like asking me to buy them things like candy and stuff, and I was like, you guys, like the point is for it to be like an experience. Like if we had a yes day, it would be like a whole day of experiences like at school. And so then they changed it and they started asking for different things. Like most of it has been like just free time or like extra recess, but some of the fun ones were like, we had one of them wanted nap time, and so during reading time I said you could either read to yourself during that time or you could take a nap. So that was fun. A bunch of them tried to take a nap. One of them, which is actually happening tomorrow, we haven't done it yet, said that they wanted everyone to have to make me a poster, and then after that they could just have like free choice. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, this is from that person, not me. Like I'm not making you make me a poster. But that was cute. And what's really cool too about this is that I get to say, let's thank so-and-so for this. Like, thank you for this student for giving us this extra free time. Like they worked really hard for this, and so it's kind of like affirming them too, which is cool. I had one kid ask to eat lunch with me for like a whole week. So that was fun. I think those are the ones that were the most unique. Like another student asked to eat lunch with me, but other than that, it's been mostly just like free time, which is like a little uncreative. Like they could have stepped it up a little bit, but no, it was fine. So yeah, that's mostly what's been going on, other than just like living life, being a teacher. And like I said, it's the end of the year and I hate the end of the year and I don't want to stop. I'm just like constantly crying. Oh, the lights just went off. Grades are due on Thursday. It is Tuesday right now. And I got a lot done, but I have a bunch of that to do, and I have to write like report card comments. So I'm gonna be working on that the next couple days. And I'm just feeling like frantic about all the time I have with my kids. Like every moment I want to be like spending with them, and I want them to spend all their time with me. And I know that's like a little bit selfish, but yeah. One little like personal-ish update is that I have really been thinking about moving to middle school. I actually had an interview at a different school in a different district. I didn't get the job. The interview went really well though, but if it was for like 6th grade math and science, it should be like the best. And I'm just kind of like hoping that something opens up at the middle school that all my kids are going to, because that would be like the best of all the worlds. I could move to middle school, have the same kids again, which would be like the freaking bomb. But if not, fine staying in 5th grade. 5th grade's fine. I've done it long enough that, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing, and I've been at the school now for a year, so I kind of know what I'm doing here too. So I am just gonna kind of clean up my desk and get stuff settled for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go, and I'll see you tomorrow. What? What? You need to tie your shoe?
Yeah, I need to tie my shoe.
Then why do you have to come in here for that?
I was on the hill with Aiden and Joanna, and I got a cut right here. Yeah, a cut right here.
How?
And then I fell out of a tree. Aiden,
Why were you in a tree?
I don't know.
Oh hey, it's just me. 7 o'clock the next day at night, not in the morning. I just got done with my report card comments. I feel very relieved, but I'm also exhausted because I just did that for like 3 hours. And I still have to grade the math test that we took today because grades are due tomorrow night. So I'm having a great time. Other than that, today was great. It's really fun. Started off the day with one of my kids who never does any homework. It's not required, but he never does it, and he never like does the practice tests or anything. And yesterday I was like, dude, you gotta do this practice test. Like, I'll be so happy. And he brought it back. He had actually done it like at home. And I was like, oh my God, you actually did it. So that was really exciting. They took a math test this morning. But then after that, one of my kids had written a yes day ticket to have everyone make me a poster. And so they all were making me posters, but they were all so sweet. And I had some like super heartfelt ones. Like this kid wrote me like a giant note and then also wrote me a whole Google Doc. And it was like literally made me cry. And then I had all these cute like notes, like they all drew me like Diet Dr. Pepper and stuff. So like, here's a long note from me. We got all these little notes. I'm like drawing me stuff about Taylor Swift. Someone did this with my name. They drew me like, look at these. These are so cute and pretty. Just like, I'm just gonna cry for hours and hours and hours on the last day of school. Like, yeah, there's just a bunch. And I haven't even gone through them all yet because I've been doing work. I had another kid with a yes day ticket who wanted indoor recess instead of outdoor recess. It is like super hot right now. It's like over 80 degrees every single day. And my school doesn't have air conditioning, so it's just been ridiculous. So a bunch of them chose to stay inside for recess today. And then we also had extra recess that another kid had asked for. And so we were just hanging out, playing games, doing karaoke. I love karaoke. I will go to karaoke anytime I can. But doing it in front of kids was like really scary and embarrassing. They were like trying to get the class to be quiet for me to like sing my song. And I'm like, guys, that's really scary. Like, keep talking, please. Like, this is like embarrassing. We had like a cookout thing for lunch. The Rotary like came in and grilled hot dogs and stuff. So we all got that. And then I ate lunch with them. I also had lunch duty, so I would have been in there anyway, but we all ate lunch. And then they had like this singer guy come, and it was so cute. I'm gonna show you. I tried to tape a little bit of it. Since my kids were 5th graders, they're obviously like a little too cool for some of the stuff, but I tried to get them all involved. But then they sang this song about like loving your teachers and like missing them for the summer or whatever, and like my kids kept looking at me because they know that I'm gonna cry and that I cry all the time about this, and then it started making me cry, and I was like, guys, stop. But it was so cute. Like, they wanted to just like keep telling me that they loved me and like that they're gonna miss me, and I'm like, yes, I know, okay, I feel the same way. So I am not doing well. We cleaned out our lockers, I don't know, typical end of the year stuff, and then they went off to specials. Now that today is over, the math test is done, like all curriculum is done, so the next 2 days we can just kind of like do end of the year stuff. So now that I'm thinking about it, I have so much stuff I still need to do for tomorrow. I printed off this like packet for math because like honestly I really don't care what they do, but I do want to keep it the subject we're doing, so it's just this like magical bakery stuff, so I'm gonna let them just like work together on that. They also had to turn in their Chromebooks today, so they don't have Chromebooks for the next 2 days, which kind of takes away some of the things that I've done in the past in the last days of school. I used to do like Kahoots and stuff like that, so we're gonna have to do some like non-technology things. But yeah, it was a really good day. I am like looking forward to the next couple days, but also not. I'm trying really hard to just like, now I'm gonna start crying. Like take it all in and like not take it for granted, soak it all in, you know? Yeah, so I'm gonna go grade a bunch of math tests, and I will see you tomorrow. Sing happy birthday to my brother. Okay. Hilda, you don't even know his name. His name is Zeke.
Lives in Milwaukee.
Okay, sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning. It is Friday, the last day of school. I'm wearing my cool sweatshirt. I haven't cried yet today, fully. But I did wake up at like 3 a.m. and I just like kept thinking about today, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So that's fun. I was up super late last night finishing my end of year gifts for my students. I made them little friendship bracelets. Every day at the end of the day, I tell them that I love them and I'll see them tomorrow. And so I made them little friendship bracelets that say that. Then I wrote them all like a personalized note, and I took a selfie with them. So I finished all of that stuff last night. Yesterday was a weird day. I cried a lot, and my kids were like being really nasty and mean to each other, and it really just sucked. And there was some fun stuff that we did yesterday, but it just is so hot here, and it's the end of the year, and yeah, they're being really mean to each other, and it is not fun. And I've been trying to do like fun stuff for them to do, but then they complain about the fun stuff, which is like such a typical the kid thing, but it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I hate unstructured days. I hate like not having a normal schedule and having to like fill up all this time with like random stuff. In math, I just had them work on this like magical bakery project, which half of them hated and half of them seemed fine with. But the ones who hated it were very vocal about it. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. but whatever, they can have their own opinion. I gave my end of the year survey yesterday where they tell me what I did well and what they think I should change next year and some other questions. I have not looked through those yet. They get to tell me the cringiest thing that I do and draw a picture of me, so I'm excited to go through those. We also did a redesign the classroom project. I have not gone through those either. Like literally I haven't gone through anything that they did yesterday. They ate lunch in my room. We played werewolf, cleaned out our desks. Yeah, emotions were just high and I can feel it in the air. Today, like I said, is the last day of school and I am probably gonna cry a lot and I have to warn them. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna cry, and it's gonna be like, I don't know, it's not like a pretty sight. I hate 5th grade. Same at my last school. And this school, they have specials at the end of the day. So like you don't get that like last, you know, time to just like say goodbye and stuff. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do my goodbyes and then let's go to specials, and then we'll have like 5 minutes at the end of the day where I actually say goodbye to you, but like I couldn't do like my official goodbye. It's like so weird. So I'm gonna have to like give their gifts earlier in the day, and we have like yearbooks. We are gonna try to do a compliment activity where they like draw a little picture of themselves and then they put it on a piece of paper and then they like walk around the room and write compliments for the people on each paper. And I'm a little bit nervous about it because like I said, I have kids that are like super nasty to each other, and I have shared with them like I would really like the end of the year to just be kind, and like if we can't do that, can we please just like not have drama or nastiness? Like can we just not say anything if you don't have anything nice to say? Please, like I don't want to deal with this, but they're not listening to that. But I did share that with them, and so I'm hoping I'm going to share again today when we do the activity, like if it's someone that you can't say something nice about, can you please just like not say anything? Like I don't want to hear that someone wrote something nasty on a compliment sheet. And we have like an end of school year assembly thing. I haven't figured out what else we're doing, so I need to figure that out. Like I said, I hate unstructured days. You have to like find so many like weird activities and they get so crazy. If it were up to me, we would just like hang out, but like calmly. But I doubt that will happen. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the store. I have all their like end of year gifts here, but I was like, maybe I could get them like a snack or something. Getting ready to sweat my butt off today because I am in this sweatshirt. I'm wearing shorts, but I don't know what this is gonna be like. It's been like 87. But yeah, the next time I see you, I will probably be crying, and it'll probably be, oh, I'm gonna cry now. I'll probably have to say goodbye to all my kids, so. Okay, bye.
Was that a present? No, that's what I'm doing. You've been recording something? A TikTok? Please?
Guys, smile like a light up this whole night. Hi. It's after school now, and I've cried too much. I don't have much to say except that I'm heartbroken, but excited for the future and for their future. I'm just gonna kind of leave everything where it is in my room, and I'll clean it up on Monday. I'm sweating, and I'm gonna go stop by our after school party for just like half an hour because I'm too emotional to go to things like that and celebrate. I had kids like refusing to leave, kids coming up to me after school, kids asking me if we can have Zoom meetings over the summer, and just too many things that are sad. So yeah, that's my week, 3rd year down. I'll see you next time.